And today we have amazing stories for you. And the first is coming from Benue State that herdsmen has attacked the indigenes and left 13 dead. And from FCT, the pupils merged into a single classroom. And from the Senate, we have that Senate has approved new tertiary institutions. The ACF has urged Tinubu to drop unfavorable policies. We have the Dangote refinery has reduced PMS price. And finally, we have that Nigeria and Brazil signed MOU to revolutionize agriculture. These and more we have for you today, but we'll still go on a quick short break, and when we return, we'll take a look at the stories and details and introduce our guests with us here at the studio. Just stay with us.
From the lands across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back, and like I said, we have amazing stories for you today. But taking us along with the stories we have is no other than Mankitane Adubabari. He's an Esquire, a solicitor and advocate of the Notary Public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, sir.
Thank you so very kindly.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And taking us today is, the first for us here today is in Benue State. We have the suspected herdsmen have killed 13 people in a Zege settlement in Mbaya, Tombo Ward, local government area of Benue State. The attack was said to have occurred on Sunday morning around 7 a.m. The attacks have led to numerous deaths as seen and the destruction of farmlands and crops. Azege is the hometown of Honorable Benjamin Uzanda, the immediate past caretaker chairman of local government area. Uzanda confirmed the attack, stating that herdsmen had previously attempted to overrun Azege in the past 2 months. Honorable Uzanda said they were armed with sophisticated weapons and immediately opened fire on residents who were preparing to attend morning service yesterday. It looks like a coordinated plan attacks as they opened fire on the harmless villagers, butchered some bodies after shooting them, and gunned down women and children. The invaders operated for houses and fled before security personnel arrived at the scene of the incident. Many residents have deserted the area for fear of unknown. Azege settlement is a 30-minute drive away from Ayilamo, the headquarters of Tombo Ward, which has also been under several bloody attacks and killings. It was gathered that at the Ayilamo points, some of the wounded from gunshots were conveyed in for treatment. Mr. Mankey, this situation of insecurity has been going on back and forth, and it's been a continuous conversation for us recently at the studio. And we've had lots of socio-political analysts, and lawyers, barristers, and individuals make their analysis about the insecurity in the country. And then here we've gotten that in Benue State, because we've had series of stories coming from Sokoto, Katsina, and Borno State, where this unknown gunmen, the herdsmen in quotes, have been attacking them and killing mostly women and children. And then here we have in Benue State that the residents were just on their own, some were preparing for church services, and these herdsmen attacked, butchered their bodies with sophisticated weapons. Does it mean that this has been an orchestration in the north? Is there something that has to call for concern? Are they actually after something?
Well, this is one issue that I'm totally familiar with, because I've paid my attention to it and I've tried to find out the root cause of this. I'm very sorry, I'm going to sound the way I am going to sound, and I am ready to stand by what I'm saying here. What is going on under the guise of herdsmen attack or bandit or whatever name is a coordinated satanic agenda, sadly supported by the present government of Nigeria.
Why do you say it's supported by the? Because we get stories that they've sent military personnel to work on this, to make way out of it, to hold the herdsmen captive. You know, we've had those series of cases where the federal government have been working towards it. So I don't know. Okay. Why do you have the,
you are not
the
a
point
lawyer.
of, no, I'm not.
I will just ask you, have you had any case of prosecution of any of these herdsmen? There's no. See, let me tell you, all that is necessary for the triumph or continuation of evil or disobedience to the cause of law is because nothing is done to those who are involved. Simple, simplicity. The moment I know I can do certain things and get away with it, you heard of electoral violence, people killing during the election. You know why it's continuing? It's continuing because those who are doing or who are involved have support. You heard of the next phrase now, go to court. They tell you, get violent, get the election in your favor by all means, inclusive of killing. Then they will get the court to validate, just like what happened in the case of the president, the current president. See, there is a Latin maxim that I enjoy so much. And that Latin maxim says, nemo da quod non habet. The interpretation is that a man cannot legitimately be expected to give that which he doesn't have. Do you understand it? That's why people who are relationship coach, they will tell you that be intentional and strategic about who you marry. Because see beyond the beauty, look at the future of your children. The same way, that is how it works. This present government, I have said this is my own postulation. There are two things that appear to me that brought this present government into office. And that is alliance with the terrorists and alliance with imperialists.
Why do you say that?
Everything that this government is doing is in full support of all this. Okay, did you hear that the president said he was scrapping some offices and he was creating livestock and he is the head? What are you creating livestock ministry for when we have federal ministry of agriculture? It is for the herdsmen. And let me say this to you. Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State said it's on record that Allah gave Nigeria as the territorial headquarters on the planet Earth for all the Fulani herdsmen, that they should come from all over Africa and come to Nigeria to settle. So all that is going on is a systematic way of eliminating indigenous population in Nigeria. As they kill these people, they are taking over their land. Go and do any smart investigation. Bala Muhammad called on Fulani herdsmen that they should come from all over Africa to Nigeria. The federal government is aware. There is an extant high court judgment in the West. Long time ago, it's an extant judgment which is against, it bans open grazing. Do you understand?
Yes.
But they are not interested, they push it down. That's why I said that when law is used as instrument of oppression, suppression, and repression, see, the only way forward in Nigeria is revolution. You know why I say revolution? Whenever law fails, the only thing that can correct it is for the people to say enough is enough. This thing is not isolated. It's even here in Rivers State.
Yes.
If you come to Abara, I'm a real estate consultant. That's another aspect of my person. If you come to a place like Abara, I'm from Ogoni. So I grew up in the village. I have an idea of a topography that is good for agriculture. If I come to a place, I can look at the land and I can tell you this place is okay for agriculture. I had reason to ask these people, why are you people not, your land is good. Why are you people not into agriculture? You know their response? Sadly, they asked me by way of retorting, of what use would we go into agriculture when at harvest, herdsmen will just walk into your farm, use jackknife to uproot your cassava and use it to feed their cows, and you cannot challenge them. I mean, south here, not too long ago in Eleme here, a husband and wife were returning from farm.
Yes.
They butchered the man and captured the wife. And look, I'm 53 years old. I did maths, physics, chemistry, biology, and AdMaths. So I'm thoroughly familiar on the science terrain. For anybody, I was interacting with a friend some time ago, and he said that the day he became afraid of holding a mobile phone is when an Israeli security expert told him that if they want to get him, if he likes, he should off his phone. That is not material. That as far as he's holding this phone, that they will get him wherever he is.
So are you trying to say,
these terrorists are using phone. That's why I said Pantami, the former DC, those guys, they have sinister agenda. All the agenda is working towards, don't be surprised that one day this president, senate, or anybody, they will use the people that we so-called our elected people to declare Nigeria something that will shock everybody.
So indirectly, Mr. Barrister Mankey, you're saying that these herdsmen are sponsored herdsmen.
They are the backing of the government, full time. Even the security agents. Did you hear of the other one that they even burned the people? They burned the villagers. Oh my God. It's a sad story. I remember one time that they killed scores of rice farmers. And before killing them, they told them that they have information, that they gave a report about them. And they massacred these people. And all these things are part of the agenda to, to enforce poverty on the people. Because when there is no food, and people are hungry, as it is now, all this economic holocaust that is on ground, they have an agenda. Now, when this happens, people are now, their mindset will be recalibrated from significant thinking to survival mentality. So at that point, what is driving you is how to survive, what to eat and survive. So they can give you peanuts. That's why people are selling their votes. But I tell Nigerians, we are not getting anywhere until, to me, it's like when we said end bad governance. I partook in that the federal government now declares.
Because I wanted to get to that point,
okay.
Because you said the only way forward is revolution.
Yes.
We have to embark on it.
Yes.
And then we've had cases where we've had the end bad governance, end SARS situation, and then we saw how it ended.
Good.
Okay, so how are we sure that this way forward is the way out for this?
See, let me tell you. You and I now, we are privileged this morning that we are among the living.
Yes.
The only thing that is the distinction between you and I and the rest that are heading to the morgue now is that we are still breathing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There is no, if you to be alive, there is no alternative to breathing. Now, the question is this, like you rightly asked. I partook in that march in Port Harcourt here. First, second, I think the third day, then before the government now sponsored infiltrators to scatter the distance. Now, this is what is going on. As at now, the government have declared free expression.
You said the government sponsored infiltrators.
Yes.
How sure are you?
Security agents follow them. Do you understand? To attack. In fact, we were gathering in front of presidential hotel, opposite presidential hotel, in front of federal secretariat. That was the gathering point. The security agents backed these boys who were attacking these, what do you call it, peaceful protesters. That was part of the place that the government said, okay, you people can gather peacefully. And that was peacefully being done. That is, the government are so threatened because they know what they are doing is not right and they are not representing the will of the people. That's exactly what is going on. I remember my daughter called me then. My daughter is 16 years old.
Okay.
Daddy, don't go out. As if she knew. I said, I am going out. I'm not going out for my sake. I'm going out for your sake and your brother.
Yes.
Now, if we do not, just like now, Nigeria has comparative economic advantage in the production of crude oil. Why are we not refining that crude oil? That is the root of this present economic holocaust. The people that we elected, it's sad that at the beginning of this story, you were talking about a former senator. Let me say this to you. If there is a disaster that before the National Assembly today, Nigerians will rejoice. When things get to that level, our leaders should get common sense that something is wrong. They do not represent the will of the people. And you look at it from this angle. My own simple idea is this. Look at the head. If there is problem in the family, look at the head of that family. Look at the head. And I've said it. The last time I came to this studio, I said it. A day, by the grace of God, I will be alive. That the justices of the Supreme Court that validates the present evil that we are in, they will use their mouth to confess to Nigerians. Because I can tell you, Nigeria, in my capacity as a notary public of the Supreme Court, I'm aware, Nigerians are leaving this country in droves, even till now.
Thank you very
They are
much.
leaving this country in droves.
Thank you.
And what pushes people outside is because most of them are going on what I call economic exile. Not that they are interested, but they are forced on economic exile.
Looking for means to escape
To escape.
Situation.
Just to survive.
Thank you. Well, I enjoy your analysis, but we have to move forward.
It's okay.
We have to move forward. We have the pupils from primary 2 to 6 are crammed into a single classroom, highlighting the dire need for improved educational infrastructure. Many of the pupils in the community have shunned school. Some were seen going to farms, while others were seen playing around the village, where over 10,000 people reside. Mr. Usman, a Parent-Teacher Association chairman of the school, said that the association has complained to the FCT authorities several times, but nothing came out of it. He appealed to the authorities of the FCT Universal Basic Education Board to come to the aid of the school. Many parents have stopped their children from going to the school because the buildings are in a bad shape. The children are now going to the farm instead, which is not really good for the future of the country. I'm appealing to the authorities of the FC Universal Basic Education Board to come to the aid of the school, the PTA chairman stated. The assistant headmaster said, I am the assistant headmaster of LE Primary School, Bagada 1. You can see that the school environment is very bad because the roofs have been blown off by wind. Because of that, we matched the children into one classroom. That is manageable for now. That is why where primary 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 pupils take their classes together. If the FCTA continues to neglect public schools, many children from low-income families in rural areas will be denied access to quality education, ultimately hindering the nation's development. It's almost similar to what you were just talking about, the analysis you had here with us. You just brought to our notice. And here we've had cases that government schools are not something to, write home about in the country, some of them. And we have that in the Federal Capital Territory. A particular school has been dilapidated for a long time, and it's had to, because the students have to learn, the pupils have to learn, they had to match class 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in one classroom. And I know that what you teach a pupil in primary 2, you cannot teach the pupil in primary 6. and you have to match them in one classroom to teach them. How does this help their intellectual capacity? And how the bad classrooms, how does it affect the country? Because these are the future of the generation, of our generation. What's your thoughts about this?
Well, the picture you are seeing, sadly, that is at the Federal Capital Territory. That should highlight the reality that is on the ground. If that is happening at the Federal Capital Territory, what do you expect? That tells you the direction of the government. You know, this is a government that we prefer, instead of fixing refinery, we buy rice, say palliative. It's like, I think Kuka said it recently, that Bola Tinubu had no agenda for this country. Of course, he was playing about it. He never told us he had any agenda. He said it is his turn. Whether we vote for him or not, he will be president. And that's what we are. I would have said, okay, I've just brought this to the notice of the FCT minister. Yes. That is the next question I would have said.
Yes, they have.
But sadly, who is the FCT minister? It's my professional colleague. Let me give you a tip of the iceberg of his activities here. Before he came to office here as governor, right? Before this present governor in Rivers State, that is Nyesom Wike. The person that was in office was Rotimi Amechi. Under Rotimi Amechi, Rivers State attained the prestigious status of World Book Capital. You know what that means? And part of the academic agenda that brought Rivers State to that level was a modern flagship program, educational program called Model Secondary School. The one that was functional then, they named it after a female ambassador. They called it Nnekrubo Model Secondary School. It was situated at Ibubu in Element Local Government area of Rivers State. Now, when Nyesom Wike came into office in Rivers State, the first thing he did was to shut down that school.
Which school?
That Nnekrubo Model Secondary School. It was being manned by Indians. Shut it down, stop their payment. As I know that I'm talking to you, I'm not telling you stories. Yesterday I traveled home. That land was a state land. He handed over that land to the Navy to occupy the entire structure.
Or maybe there was a situation that we have no idea of. Because things like this, we need to be cautious.
You see, you are talking about education.
Yes, we're talking about education. For him to give it to the Navy, like you stated, or probably there were reasons for that. That's what I'm trying to say. So we really don't have the right story about this. We don't have the right content about the situation. That's what I'm trying to put out here.
Now, unfortunately, this is not a program that you have callers calling. So it's like between you and me.
Yes.
I am stating to you facts. So if you have somebody who has education in mind, do you understand? And next to that, he shut down the foreign scholarship.
I'm not trying to support him.
Good.
But now, we've had a situation where the School of Law in Rivers State was his decision. Do you get? So
outside budgetary provision.
So that I'm trying to put that into place. Like I said earlier, the reason why he decided to give it to the Navy could be reasons best known to him.
Okay.
So let's not digress. Let's not digress.
Let me buy into your idea.
Let's not digress, and let's find out what is the situation of the school. Because what do you think is the way forward out of this? You know, why do you think that the government have not come to the aid of this particular school?
Now let me ask you this question: between university and primary school, which is most important?
The primary.
That's it. Do you understand? It's like somebody who tells you that I'm interested in agriculture, right? And he's not interested in making land available for agriculture. It's a lip service. So when you look at the primary, you can talk about secondary school, you can talk about some other things. The root, when the base, I believe in what we call base superstructure analysis. When the base is having problem, then forget about the top. You can't build a 10-story building on a bungalow foundation. Now the question is there anything that is supporting that the government is interested in education? Look at all that Jonathan did towards education in the north. All of them were abandoned because, of course, you know the idea of this issue of Boko Haram, whatever. Education is evil than all. Western education is evil than all whatnot. Yeah. So something is you can imagine. Class 1, 2, 3, 4 climb into a place, and of course they have a peculiar circumstance there. This wind, wide wind that blows. Now they have made it clear that all their roofs have been blown up. That is what should attract the attention. Why I was narrating this story is that if it were something, it is something I would have recommended that go and meet the FCT minister. He's the head. Do you understand? He's interested in education. He will take up this matter.
But there are processes. You have to go through the universal basic education.
Of course. If it goes beyond that, it's just like the governor of this state. There are different departments. If you get to follow those procedures and it doesn't work, you can even come through a television program like this and then air. And the governor becomes aware and call attention. What's happening here? This is the information that is getting to me. Do you understand it?
Yes.
But when you look at that direction and you look at the capacity of the individual who is there, look at the past. You can't do without the past. Look at the past, the track record, his interest in education. To me, I don't see much that can be done. But I can say this to you very clearly, that any nation that neglects the foundation of its education, the future is doomed.
Because we have a situation where most of the pupils have stopped going to school. Their parents had to stop them from going to school, and they had to engage in agriculture, into farming.
That is true. Do you know why they separate the classes? Part of it is to check ideas of bullying. Because I used to use this example. Even in the zoo, or even in an aspect of agriculture, the farming of fish farming, you don't keep all the fish together. You separate them based on age.
Yes.
Because some will feed on the younger ones. So they separate them.
Yes.
That is the same reason, that is the same ideology. But this picture will tell you the mindset of our leaders. I call them political opportunists. Because when you look at their policies and what they are pursuing, you know that they don't have the people interest at heart. These are the people that can do anything to send their children abroad. And they are not looking ahead. Because these children they are neglecting to training are the people that are going to constitute insecurity to their children that they are training today, tomorrow. So that tells you the disjointed level of reasoning of majority of our so-called leaders. It's so sad.
Thank you,
but that's the reality.
Barrister. So the way forward is for any affected schools to go through the processes, get to the universal basic education, right?
I'm saying
board, and they'll probably come on a platform, a TV platform, and call on the government. How about schools like this school? If they had the resources, they would have sorted it out. Coming to on air to complain about situation, isn't that going to cost more of resources? Because according to the headmaster, they do not have enough resources. Even teachers stopped coming to school, and according to the story, there are learners teachers that have been teaching the school. So do you think this the way out is coming on air to complain about the situation?
Of course. If it will need the parents to carry placards, do you understand? And stand in front of the school or move to any point that will attract attention.
Okay, that's more like a peaceful protest.
Yes. Better for them to draw attention. And I can tell you this program we are doing here, because I've had similar situation in River City here, where in certain schools, these things are verifiable.
Yes.
When you put them up, they can go and verify, send a team secretly, and they will confirm that it is true.
Okay.
Something has to be done about it. The parents, to me, they should not be discouraged to the point that they withdraw their children from school. They should take proactive step. Bring it to the notice of the FCT governor. Yes, because Supreme Court has made him so, sadly. But that's the reality. So, and the relevant stakeholders. This is the capital of Nigeria, where we are supposed to have the model and things are going this bad, something drastic has got to be done.
Thank you very much,
Right.
Barrister. Thank you on your thoughts about that. We have the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has said the approval of the establishment of new tertiary institutions in the country by the National Assembly was aimed at making education at all levels more accessible to Nigerians. Akpabio spoke at the weekend at the opening ceremony of the public hearing organized on bills seeking for the establishment of Federal Polytechnic Onueke Eza South in Ebonyi State and Alvan Ikoku Federal University of Education, Owerri in Imo State respectively, organized by the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education and TET Fund at the Senate wing of the National Assembly in Abuja. Senate President said the gathering reflected the shared commitment of the Senate and other critical stakeholders to fostering inclusive and sustainable development through education. Education remains a cornerstone for national progress and its accessibility to all Nigerians, regardless of their geographical or socio-economic status. It is a priority for the Senate, he said. He said that the Senate and the House of Representatives, in concurrence with each other's bill by lawmakers from both chambers, have continued to approve the establishment of more tertiary institutions in different geopolitical zones of the country. We were just talking about education, and you know, moving forward, we have another case here from the House of Representative, National House of Assembly, you know, having coming to an agreement to, you know, open more tertiary institutions in the country. And then you talked about the primary and the tertiary level, which is more important. I would love to get your thoughts about this. Do you think this is a good idea from NAS?
Well, ordinarily, it would be a good idea. You see this, I tell you this. If there's a leprosy in the family, you can't discuss the issue of ringworm. Do you understand it? The simple question I will ask, it's so sad, and I have to say this, that the National Assembly of Nigeria has abandoned the people that it claimed to represent and pursuing their agenda. I'm telling you, this thing you are seeing, they are targeting phone. Nothing more than that. Just anywhere. It's just like, I will say this to you. You know, I use an example. You know what the present president did in Lagos in expanding the bracket of taxation? That is what he is expanding, because you can't give what you don't have. Now, these people, all they are after is what they can do to get money into their pockets.
So
nothing more than that.
I'm going to cut you short a bit,
Yes.
Barrister. You said they're trying to this particular decision they took right here to open more tertiary institution is to get money in their pockets, according to you.
Yes.
It is not for the benefit of Nigerians, like they stated.
What is the quality of the existing ones? Globally, you heard of some schools, some high-profile schools, right? Oxford, name them, all over the world. They rather expand them and improve on the quality. Let me say this to you. Some people may not pay attention to this. If you get to the university today, I left university in 1997. Recently, I had to move to the university. I want to do something. I stood at the gates of the university. I just stood and watched, and something told me that there is danger ahead.
What? Which university, if I may ask?
Well, I wouldn't want to mention. And it's all over. Because you have graduates, first-class materials, and all. Till now, this is 21st century. Majority of the people who attend the university, first time I am watching with my eyes open, see foreign companies closing down and leaving Nigeria. The first time I'm seeing it happen. And if you are familiar with international economics, like it's just like somebody staying on a skyscraper. the person has an advantage over somebody who is living on the ground floor.
Yes.
He can tell you that there is a danger, that rain is coming from a distance. If you take his advice, that is how I look at these foreign investors when they were living in Nigeria. You had of Shell and the rest of them moving offshore, leaving this environment. You had of all the funny things that were happening, that our leaders were selling our crude oil in advance, that is selling our future in advance and all whatnot. Yet, Nigeria has comparative economic advantage, like the economic holocaust that is plaguing and pushing Nigerians into tight corner. It does not perturb, it does not touch the National Assembly members. Do you think they are not aware of what is happening to Nigerians? And most people don't even have money to buy drugs because of the realities on the economic scale. Now, even if you have money to buy drugs without good food, you are committing suicide. Because most of these drugs will feed on your intestine if you don't have good food that can sustain the drug and make it work. So, if I will ask the National Assembly, is this the priority of Nigerians, those who elected them? Because whether we like it or not, either by hook or crook, if they are there, they are there. They are our representative. Is this the most important thing? Nigeria have 4 refineries that are moribund deliberately. And we have globally recognized comparative economic advantage in the production of crude oil, which is the root of this present economic holocaust. Because few individuals, I call them criminal minds within the culture of power, have insisted that Nigeria will never refine our crude oil locally for the benefit of all Nigerians.
So we have Dangote refinery working on his.
What are you talking? I used to call Dangote Group. It's a monster. It's an economic monster. No nation of the world will tolerate such a group with such economic mindset.
Did you say monster?
I call it economic monster. You know why I call it so? The activities of Dangote cannot be tolerated in any part of the world.
Why? Why can't it be tolerated? Isn't it to the benefit
no competition? See, perhaps you do not understand. You know when people were rejoicing that Dangote is coming up, I asked, why are our 4 refineries not working and yet they are approving money for their refurbishment each year? And do you know that NNPC workers are paid full salaries? They are getting money for doing no work. Come on, we joke too much here.
Okay, so Barrister, we have the way forward here, like you said, is we have to make priorities.
I am telling them the National Assembly,
which is agriculture. Yes. But in this stance right here, we have the north, the high producing agricultural commodities, products that we consume are in states of insecurity. What do you think has to be done in general about this whole situation?
You get something right. Get something right. If your father told you, right, that he's interested in your future and denies you going to school, and you have come to know that the route to the future is through quality education, you will be able to decipher and know that the claim of your dad being interested in your future is mere fanciful and cosmetic. Sophisticated weapons with impunity, and they were killing the villagers. I have told you that these foreign invaders from the Sahel that has come into Nigeria, their purpose is to take the land. Do your investigation after this program. As they wipe out these people from the village, they name it in their own language and they take over the place. That's what they are doing. Nothing more than that. And look, Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian security agents are one of the most resilient in the world. It is on record. There was a time that Oshomole moved a motion at the National Assembly that they have discovered that the security chiefs, that is their head, are diverting funds that are given to them. That you now move a motion that, look, fellow members of the National Assembly for different purposes. In fact, they mentioned particularly that some of them are using the money to set up higher institutions, private higher institutions. That was why Oshomole moved that motion. The motion was seconded, and Akpabio now called on members to vote. The National Assembly voted against that motion and shut it down. That is an approval for insecurity. I thought that this is a matter that I'm familiar with. This thing I'm telling you is subject to verification. Go and find out. This happened in the National Assembly this year.
Yes.
So when you have a situation that is in this one, that's why I was skeptical when you were talking about education. That's why I came from the angle that was coming. This is the National Assembly that is when they release this money, they share. For them to shock such a motion that Akpabio behaved as if he was shocked. He said, look, gentlemen, let me repeat myself. He went over it the second time. They shut it down. They voted nay. And that is the signal for the future. So a group of individuals who are moving to the National Assembly, that's why I told you last time that if a disaster before members of the National Assembly, Nigerians will rejoice. If they cannot ask themselves such critical questions, or if you hear that a member of the National, look at when the chief of staff died. Do you understand?
Yes.
Check the mood of Nigerians upon all the lies they were saying. Oh, this, that. Oh, this, that. I wrote an article on it. I say, upon all the lies, upon lies, finally, they are come out to say the man that died. The man has lost it all. And our leaders have better read the handwriting on the wall, because the mind of Nigerians are migrating from them, because they have seen all their trickery, they have seen all their disinterest in what favor them. They can change national anthem within hours, but they cannot make refineries work. They cannot tell NPCL, look, make these 4 refineries work in the interest of the people that we represent. Come on, we are joking here.
Thank you very much, Barrister. The way is actually not instituting a new tertiary institution. It's actually a good idea if new institutions are, taken into consideration. But the way forward is to consider the main things at the moment, which are the real things that Nigerians want. First off, education and security in the country, and the necessary things that should be done. We will go on a quick short break, and when we return, we will continue on more stories. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We have the story that Comrade Yerima Shetima, the National President, Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, AYCF, has urged President Bola Tinubu-led government to be more sensitive to the plight of Nigerians and introduce favorable policies. In an interview, Shetima said some of the policies of the present administration do not give hope to the common Nigerians. He said that an economic policy has worked somewhere else successfully does not mean it must work here in Nigeria. So the government must be very sensitive concerning the policies, models that they import in our situation. This country is hugely blessed, and there is no reason for Nigerians to be in this situation if the government decides to be more sensitive to the plight of the people. Yes, there is hunger, there is insecurity, and Nigerians want to see gradual progress taking place. So, the onus is still on the government to raise the leadership bar that will inspire hope on the people. The reality I have said is that the government cannot reverse the damage of the Buhari regime as easily as most Nigerians think. They cannot even reverse all the mess in 4 years, but Nigerians should begin to see conscious relief, improvement, and the government coming up with policies that give people hope, he added. Here, the chairman of the Arewa Youth Forum has he urged the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tinubu, to, drop certain policies. What kind of policies do you think he's referring to here, Barrister Maki?
First of all, let me say this. Like I said, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm 53 years old. I'm not a kid. I've been here for a while. So I've seen a lot of things. I used to jokingly say this to people. I entered University of Calabar when I was 20 years old. Now I'm 53. When I entered University of Calabar then, I heard about Odukmani Itu Road crisis. That crisis is worse now than then. This is 30-something years down the line. Are we joking here? You heard of Element Junction to Trailer Park. RCC is on that road dancing, the Makaba dance or Agaba dance, construction, construction Agaba dance they are doing there. That is a road that can be done under 1 month to completion. Billions, people are losing billions on that road. They refuse to open the seaport here. All this, there's an economic war going on, which is a continuation of the seaport. You see, we joke big time here. Take it from me. We joke big time here. We're a joker. We're a huge joker.
So, I asked earlier, what policies do you think Shetima Yarimi was referring to that he wants the president to redress?
He is a joker.
Who?
Yarima is a joker. You know why I say so?
Why do you say so?
See, let me say this to you. You see, injustice is like smoke. It's like air. If you think it's under the earth, in terms of material and human capacity, resources, I can say that to you. Nelson Mandela in 2007, in an interview with Dr. Hakim Baba, said that, look, that among the nations of the world, that there is none that stood by it than Nigeria. But that he is angry with Nigeria because Nigeria has let itself down, let Africa down, race down.
Do you think that Yerima Shetima has the interests of the country at heart for when he made the statement, or there's something?
Buhari became well and returned to Nigeria and shut down the program. So it's a deliberate policy by the government. That the government is interested in the suffering of the people. I can say that to you because there's enough wealth in this country. The simple question is this: why is Nigerian government not interested in refining our crude oil locally for the benefit of all Nigerians? The reason is simple. Nigerians in further importation, 1, 2, 3, 4 incidences.
Okay.
They will stop importation, but I'm not interested in that.
Barrister,
but they know the right thing to do.
Barrister,
yes.
Quickly, I wanted to ask, what are the unfavorable policies that the president has put in place that is affecting us, the citizens? One,
every Nigerian knows that the root of this economic holocaust that we are having, which is increasing of tax without production, that's an evil policy. Refusal of Nigeria to refine our crude oil is an evil policy. That is the one that is directly behind this current economic holocaust.
Okay, so the removal of subsidy was also part of it. Well, is it part of the unfavorable policy?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Good. The issue of removal of subsidy. If they want to demolish this structure for whatever reason, the first thing they will do is that they will remove all the facilities here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Move them out. Move all of them, relocate them to a safe place. That is good equipment. Then, when they will bring down this structure, it's going to be minimal in terms of destruction. And they put on what they want to do, then they return this thing. In the issue of subsidy, it is agreed within the economic circle that the first thing you have to do so as not to inflict unnecessary pain on the people, because petroleum is one product that touches every aspect of the lives of every Nigerian. Just touch it. It touches every aspect. I mean that when I say every aspect, I mean it too. If you doubt me, I go to your mother. If there is light, stability of light, your mother can cook a pot of soup that can last for a week because you put it in the freezer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Rather than cooking every day.
Okay.
Are you talking about typing? As I'm talking to you now, people are typing a page of paper for 400 to 500 per page. To photocopy a piece of a paper is now 50 naira a piece. And if you go to certain people in certain industries, they will tell you that what matters is turnover. When you don't have customers because they don't have money to do anything, you can feel it. Now you are imposing tax. Tinubu has said it that one of his policy is to slow the purchasing power of Nigeria. You can see it. You can see it. Those who used to help others now have been turned into beggars. The middle class have been wiped out. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I went to the market. A tin of tomato that I used to buy are the policies, and the government is aware. And these policies are aimed at weakening the people. All they are concentrating on is 2027 to get power.
So these are the policies that are favorable to Nigerians.
Even insecurity.
Insecurity.
They are aware, and
Removal
it's hitting
of
their people.
subsidy and food.
It's hitting their people. That is why he's coming out to talk now, because they were the people that were behind Tinubu. Tinubu said that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. Do you understand?
Okay.
So if we saw Shege, we are under Shege Pro Max. That's where we are now. So you can understand.
Thank you very much, Barrister, on that. We have to move forward. I'm talking about petroleum and subsidy. We have that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery says it has reduced the price of its premium motor spirits from 990 naira per litre to 970 before the end of this year.
I hope you listened to what Tinubu said in Brazil recently. I'm sure they were laughing at him. I'm sure most foreigners were looking and saying, look at this idiot. Does he know what he's talking?
Please, in as much as I want to get your thoughts, we would not appreciate
the use of such words.
Yes, use of words.
It's unfortunate, but
Thank you.
See, there is a level I can demonstrate my stupidity. Me, I'm using myself as an example. There are levels I can come here to pursue an argument. I have a colleague of mine who used to say that he has the DNA of a as it is presently constituted, it's supposed to be a place that will have the best refined product price globally. Do you understand me? Nigeria, as it is supposed to be the place that will have the best price in terms. What do you call it? A liter of PMS. We are supposed to have it the cheapest in this country, because the moment you refine locally, the idea of landing costs will be out, and that is what is wiping out our foreign reserve. They know what to do. Do you know that they deceive most of our brothers and sisters to borrow money and set up modular refineries? After they set up the modular refineries, they now turn around to say that modular refineries to work, you have to go and buy crude at the international market. Where is such a thing done in the world except in this country? So the best way forward, and I want, since those who are in government, we have now realized that they are against us, is for us Nigerians to rise up, because this thing is continuing. The price of things are continuing. We have to rise up and tell our leaders that enough is enough. We want the refineries to work. And they should stop killing the enterprising youth of the oil and gas producing areas who are into parallel refining. These are the solution to this problem.
Okay, so Barrister, in as much as the Dangote refinery has decided to reduce prices, it's also a commendable one, but they should allow other refineries to function.
That is what is going to create the economic catalyst. It's a bag of cement now. Some people in Port Harcourt who are in petroleum something, and they know that if they allow others to compete, it is when others are allowed and given favorable ground that competition can come in. It is only competition that brings down price.
Okay, so if there are other refineries that will enhance or cause the need of competition,
yes,
prices will drop, and then there will be the situation of high cost of things will drop.
Let me say this to you. It will work like magic. If today federal government says before the end of the year that the refinery should work, they will work. I'm telling you that. How many times have they postponed they talk about Port Harcourt refinery that it is ready? Or it's